everyone, Trina here, and I think we're on 4.9, Origins of the Soul, and we were getting ready to dive into the libraries of learning, and this will be touching on the Akashic records and a few other things, the moment of clarity and the great work. So we'll begin with that, and we're getting close to another chapter down, and we're more than about halfway through the book now. So we're getting there, and we're getting into some new interesting stuff that I haven't seen before, so this will be interesting to learn it together. So we will start with the libraries of learning. Okay. One of the most impressive places that some of those who have ever gone when in the other side and returned they talk about are the vast libraries of knowledge. These libraries contain histories of all that has happened to the personal records or book of life of every individual soul. Since there are billions of souls in the world, there are also billions of books, and each book contains the Akashic records of the individual. The books are all stored in vast libraries where the souls can go and study. So a soul can take their book down from the shelf, read it, or view it holographically as a movie. References to the recordings made after each life in an individual's book of life are referred to in the Egyptian Book of the Dead during the weighing of the heart ceremony. These books are vibrational recordings preserved in the larger Akashic record, the memory particles that record all events in the universe. The Akashic records are created by the Akasha, which is like a causal memory membrane of God that grows as a result of all of our experiences. Each individual soul is then able to take a view of all of their experiences. Each individual soul has vast records in the many spiritual libraries found throughout the astral and causal planes. Many souls describe these libraries as a vast rectangular building with glowing white, transparent walls, long rows of tables that stretch off into the distance, and big, thick books line every shelf. Large pedestals stand at the end of long tables where a guide may assist a soul with a particular lesson. And students study alone or in pairs, as one might imagine. There are countless souls reviewing their records. Here, initially, these records appear as pages. But when the book is opened, they are actually vibrating sheets of energy that form pictures and patterns of events. Wow. Some have even described them as sheets of moving waterfalls that can be entered into with our consciousness. Even while another part of us remains in the library reading, these records are overseen by wise monistic beings described as the archivist, or scholars, or even angels. They are quiet, focused beings who are there to assist the souls with their individual records. They may even be the lords of karma, for it is clear that they help the soul to evaluate the choices that it could have made in each lifetime. When I have been able to go in and view my Akash, the way I saw it was a little bit different. And I think that we're all going to see these things a little bit different. And just because you see it different, don't discredit yourself and think that, well, maybe I didn't see it because I didn't see it that same way. That's not the way this works. So when I was brought into the Akash, I was with the Lord, and one time I was with, I think it was my angelic self or my guardian angel. And they brought me into a big, vast library, but I was pulling scrolls. And my scroll, they showed me where it was, and I put my hand out to get it, and it came to me. And when I had my scroll, we went to a viewing room, which was like a, I guess like a conference room type of a setting where there's tables and pedestals so we could lay out the document. And when I saw the scroll, it was embossed with this beautiful gold writing, of which I've never seen before nor after. So my scroll was written in gold, and then when the angel opened up the scroll on this table, I could instantly see it on a screen, and I viewed everything in my scroll as a movie. And so a lot of people say they view them as movies. Well, that's how it happened for me. But I didn't see a book. I saw a scroll, and my scroll had gold writing on it, and I couldn't read my scroll. With my human mind, I couldn't read what it said. And the angel just looked at me like, I understand. And it was like, don't worry, you'll understand when you see it. And then they opened it up, and then it projected, and I understood everything. But I was like, I can't even read this scroll because it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. And they were just like telepathically like, don't worry, you will understand very shortly. And I just trusted, and I went with the process, and that was what I was shown. So don't think because you guys are seeing these things a little bit different that they're not valid, because I know that what I saw was real for me. And that's how I view my records. I view it a little bit different than other people, but nonetheless, I still accomplish the same thing. So go to the Akash, go grab your book, go grab your scroll, grab however it's shown to you, and just see what you need to see and know what you need to know. And remember what you came here to remember, because they're going to be in the books, and it will help you remember why you're here. And I think that's the most important thing for most of us at this time right now, is trying to remember, what on earth are we even doing here? So, okay. So, many souls, let me see. Oh, I already read that part. Okay, so, okay. Here is a near-death account of a woman who found herself in a beautiful garden around various libraries. I know that every single building was a different subject. All knowledge in the universe was stored in these libraries. I was excited because I wanted to go and study and read everything. These libraries not only provide a review of the life that has ended, they are also used to prepare you for the future life to come. Here is an account from a woman who remembered studying there after a short life, where she drowned herself because she had become pregnant out of wedlock. And in Edwardian England, in this passage, she already knew in the library, working with one of the lords of karma, who showed her several alternative choices that she could have made during that lifetime. Her words: I'm in a place of study. It looks Gothic. Stone walls, long marble tables. I knew where I am now is the library of great books, the records. There is a huge open space where I see many souls at a long desk, with books everywhere. But I'm not going to that room now. The old man takes me to one of the small, more private rooms, off to the side, where we can talk without disturbing the others. The room is very plain, with a single table and a chair. The old man brings in a large book, and it is set up in front of me like a TV viewing screen. He sets his scroll in front of me first, and he opens it. Wow! Then he points to a series of lines representing my life. These are lifelines, my lines. The thick, widely spaced lines represent the prominent experiences in our life and the age that they will most likely occur. The thinner ones bisect the main lines and represent a variety of other circumstances. And I see crystal prisms. Wow. dark and light, depending upon what thoughts are sent. Wow. Now I remember that I have done this before. More lines and pictures. I wish I could move forward and backward, which I can move forward and backwards in time with my mind. They form the patterns for the life pictures in the order of which you wish to look at. He flips the page. I see myself on screen in the village I just left. It isn't really a picture. It's so real. It's alive, and I'm there. We're going to look at other choices. After seeing what I actually did at the pond where I took my life, the next scene brought me back to the pond on the bank. And this time, I don't wade in and drown myself. I walk back to the village. I'm still pregnant. Through this process, the angelic archivist helped this woman play out several different versions of her life that did not include suicide, so that she could see the outcomes of other possible choices. In this way, she began to see the life lessons inherent in each of the possible choices. The lessons behind this kind of exercise is clear. No matter what our circumstances in life, there is always a choice. We each have the power to change our lives, even under the worst conditions. When we can think outside the box to consider other possibilities, then we can continue to find happiness and strength, no matter what our life challenges may be. The moment of clarity and the great work. In all of these near-death accounts, the reports follow a certain pattern. We die and then we are reborn into the world of light, unless we have trapped ourselves into some part of the lower astral planes through our own negative attitudes and fears. Once on the other side, we regain all of our memories of our former state and we begin to reconnect with some aspect of our true self. From this higher perspective, we can clearly see how much progress we have made. When we can enter the middle and higher registers of the astral plane, we are flooded with a deep sense of connection to all living beings. In this realm, we are no longer bound by our fear of death, the struggle to make a living, or the drive to become famous. So it is easier to shrug off the cloying fears of the human ego that so often seem to drive our life in the physical world. In these higher realms, nothing is hidden to others. Not only is communication telepathic, but the lords of karma see all that we are and yet love us unconditionally. In this dimension, we are aware of the oneness of life, and we are able to take stock of our spiritual progress without the destructive emotions of shame, fear, guilt, or clouding our judgment. We are bathed in the energies of unconditional love, and we are able to return to the warmth and camaraderie of our soul family. Then, when we are ready, we will decide to try again, selecting new circumstances for our next life based of the spiritual progresses which we wish to make, rather than on the egoic comforts of wealth and vanity that often drive a person in earthly incarnation. Thus, step by step, life after life, we move forward on the path, transforming aspects of our human self through the multiple experiences until we are able to merge with our angelic twin. This is what the Bible speaks of when they say, you must make the two one. I know that that's what this means, that you're supposed to marry them, the higher self and the lower self, making the two become one, as above, so below. This alchemical process that the spirit adepts call the great work. It is the transformation of the highest kind, where we turn the lead of the little self into the gold of the higher self, Wow, that's cool. Oh, wow. But another chapter along the way, a chance to come a few steps closer to reclaiming our own angelic nature. How well we do with the course we have set for ourselves determines whether we move forwards or backwards. Each success or failure influences the conditions that we were set up for in our next life, until finally we have completed all of the lessons that we have chosen to learn here in Earth School. If we are successful, we can then select a life at even a higher level of existence, whether it is the loka of the demigod or the gods, or a training paradise. Later in this book, we will take a look at the many life lessons each one of us must master while living on the physical plane. But for now, let's contemplate the words of the spiritual adept Manly P. Hall, who also writes about this pivotal moment when we stand before our higher selves and do the life review. We are told that between each life drama, there is a moment when, too, a man is revealed to the meaning of it all. It is forgotten, however, as he assumes the unresponsive bodies that form his personality. But his moment of realization is the life-giving moment of the soul, when injustice and inharmony are swept away, and man, standing free in space, secures the sweeping, impersonal outlook that is inclusive and not exclusive. Then, for a moment, he sees the plan, stupendous, irresistible. He sees his place in the plan. He recognizes the inevitability of his ultimate accomplish. He knows his God, and he is bathed in the effulgence of the divine reality. In the physical world, he may have been an atheist, but in this supreme moment, he sees, for in this moment, mortality is absorbed in immortality. He transcends the mold, creation, and recognizes both his origin and his ultimate self. To those left behind who knew both his virtues and his faults, his broadness and his limitations, this is a great comfort, for they realize that in that moment he will know himself as he really is and lay plans for future greatness far surpassing any of the achievements of the past. So that is the end of chapter 7. Next we will be coming into chapter 8, and it is called The Seven Heavens of the Astral Plane. And I can't wait to get into this information because I've seen the levels of heaven, and I've seen the different heavens, and I've seen the different heavens according to the different belief systems. One time I was with the Lord, and he showed me, I'm pretty much coming to assume I think the Lord is my higher self or my spirit guide, my guardian angel. So it just presents itself in an iconic way to where I would feel safe and understand the concept of who this being is, because pretty much everybody in the world knows who Jesus is. So I think I was given that image, so I would adopt it first of all and be safe and comfortable with it after its presence was disclosed to me on who it was, that I would find that there was nothing evil or bad about this entity that was my invisible friend. So that's a profound thing to kind of digest and swallow, because if this information is true, it means that the person who's always been guiding me and instructing me and teaching me all of these beautiful, wonderful, true things about life, and who never ever led me wrong, this being is myself. So that's profound. So a large part of me really hopes that this is true, because if it's true for me, then it means it's true for you. So I think this might be the ultimate way of learning to truly love yourself, is to connect with the part of you that you can't even remember you are, and know that that part of you is more loving and more wise and more compassionate than anything you will ever experience in this entire lifetime. So much love to you all. We'll pick up soon and begin chapter 8. I'll have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.